All right. So it's officially 9 p.m. and we have until 9:30. I see that we have a few people in here. So we have Stephanie, Sunny, Caitlin, and Nicole. Seems to all be on audio. Um, just checking in. Are you there?
Yep, here.
Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome to this part. I know there's other sessions that are going on simultaneously, so just want to acknowledge all of you for being here. And you're probably wondering kind of what this is going to be about, what really Flow Masters is, honestly expressing yourself in a new way to access flow state. So essentially, really what Flow Masters is about, it's it's really all about learning how to extemporaneously express your truth. And it's about building self-esteem, expressing your truth, and learning to trust yourself,
Part one.
disguised as uh, disguised as pretty much like extemporaneous spoken word. So it's using the emotive power of music. So basically, this is going to be a very interactive experience. And so I'll tell you one thing that it's not about. So this is not about when you think about freestyle, it's not about rhyming. It's not about learning how to be like a dope rapper. It's none of that at all. Basically, it's that when you're in here, if you come here and you just start to express yourself, right? Especially with so many things happening right now and percolating inside, being in quarantine, wherever you are in the world, um, if we learn to use this as a release valve, which means that you come here and you express your fears, you express, this is what I love, this is what I care about, this is what I'm bumping up against, and you express that, then it never has to rhyme. And the reason is that is because it's your truth. And here in the Flow Masters, the whole tenet is that when you express your truth, it's going to pluck at the heartstrings of those who really need to hear it. And so, even in a deeper level, it just goes to show that your story's enough. It's incomparable to anybody else's, and it's so relatable as well. And so, there's different exercises that we're going to go through. And I wanted to just lay down a foundation, which are two important principles to note. And the first one is we're talking about flow state, right? So, the first principle is that flow is just around the corner. And essentially what that means is that, there's four parts to a flow cycle. The first of which is struggle, which is a very important part of a flow cycle because there has to be an intersection between skill and your challenge. So it's called a skills challenge ratio. And when you rise to the occasion of the challenge, then you get to the second stage, which is a release. You could think of this more as a meditative place where your heart rate starts to go down and you start to breathe more deeply and you relax. And then, in a way, that facilitates going into the third, which is flow state. That's the third part of the flow cycle. And that's where all of these neurochemicals are going through you. The part of your prefrontal cortex shuts off, and you're going into this place where literally the part of your brain that's responsible for decision making, that's for planning, it literally shuts off. So, and the prefrontal cortex, parts of that is also responsible for like those thoughts of what are people going to think about me, or what if I failed, what if I go up to this person, they're going to reject me. All of that is evaluating. It's evaluating. So that so-called inner critic literally shuts off. So just know if you're struggling and you're like, oh, I don't know really what to say, know that that's a part of the first part of the flow cycle, and it's just a part of it. And so flow is just around the corner means that you keep on going, right? The only certainty is that if you stop, you're not going to get into flow state. So you just keep on going. The second thing, I know that it's hard. A lot of you, most everyone is not on video, but if you can, I invite people to get on video so people can kind of see each other, and that lends itself to the second principle, which is rally the cipher. And what that really means is that we want to encourage people and to like send energy for people to get into flow state. That's the thing. We want the person to speak to get into flow state. So even if you're not going to be on video, which I encourage you to, like just send that energy over them, wish them well. Like you see that they have a reactions thing on the bottom like that, you can send it up just to let people know like, hey, I got you, I feel you, just keep on going. You can engage through the chat box as well, and really just capitalizing off of the features of Zoom in order to rally the cipher. There you go, Stephanie. Perfect. So the first part that we're actually going to do, and this is going to be popcorn. I'm going to popcorn people, and then the next person's going to go, and then you're going to go for a little bit, and then you're going to popcorn the next. This way, it keeps people on their toes. It keeps things fresh. You never know what's really going to happen, and that's just like life. We didn't anticipate this was going to happen, and here we are right now. So the first part that we're going to get into is called scatting. Some of you might know. Does anybody know what scatting is? I'll just get into it. Well, basically, scatting is started from jazz, and it's basically nonsensible like sounds that you make, almost as if your voice is an instrument. Now, the point of this is to get out of our head, right? To get out of our head and ingest almost, it's not supposed to make sense. So I'm going to lead by example through all of these exercises. And then so just come out here willing to play. Some of the exercises are going to get a little more deeper, but nevertheless, it's going to be fun. It's going to be very connecting, and it's going to be very human. I think that's what this is COVID's really teaching us, or teaching me in a way, is just realizing how human I am and how interconnected we are in spite of all being told to stay inside on a Friday night when a lot of us probably want to go out. So this is a very connecting thread. It lets us know that we're all connected right here. This is the only time in my life, and maybe in even my parents' life, where the whole world is impacted right now of this one virus. Everyone's coming together to try to find ways on how we can create vaccines to just so that we can start living in a new level of normalcy. So with that, I'm going to start putting this in. Let me know if you can actually hear it, and then I'm going to pass it around. So this might be the most interactive of the sessions that are going on right now. So here we are. Can I just quickly like get a thumbs up? Like, is there anybody, I just want to hear who just wants to like listen and not participate? You can like let me know, because otherwise I'm going to assume that everyone is okay. So, okay, lower hand, Nicole's going to be one of them. And is Stephanie, are you saying that too? Okay, we got Gleb. So you're going to participate? All right, so it looks like just Nicole and Stephanie is. So it looks like we're all going to get into this. So I'm going to turn on this music. You'll probably hear it. Ready? And here we go. So this is going to be the scat part, right? I'll lead by example, then I'm going to pass it on to people, and you're going to go and create sounds, okay? And don't worry, it's not supposed to make sense. Ready? What a ball! Gotta get sick at the core, but you keep it your ball. Shaba yo, Gleb. You gotta unmute yourself.
I don't know what to do.
So you're just scatting. You're just making noises. It's not supposed to make sense right there. Bible ball. Gotta get go. Shukuku. Get it, Papa?
I don't know what to do. Like I'm gonna listen.
You wanna go back and forth?
No, I think I'm just gonna listen.
All right. Well, who wants to take it? How about let me just add it to Attila. Yeah, good. Popcorn somebody else. Popcorn somebody else. Let's go to Sunny. At night. Sunny. Sunny, you there?
It's a bit early here.
Keep going, it's hard to hear you. So basically, this is supposed to be this is a very playful piece right here. I see that this could be a little bit of confronting, and just know that's good. If you don't want to participate, you don't have to at all right here. But we're going to get into some funner exercises. The scatting, the whole thing is intended to just get out of our heads and to actually bring a little bit of play. I think during these times, bringing a little bit of play, getting tapped into our creativity, whether it's drawing, whether it's singing in the shower a little more, playing an instrument that you've been needing to pick up, but it's got dusty because you've just been working and just getting caught in the hustle and bustle. This is a great way to just tap into that sense of play. And then a lot of magic can take place from that place. So we're going to do a little bit more of a scat, but now we're going to transition into a scat talk. So we're going to mix English and nonsense and then not making sense at the same time. And so I'll just start to do it like this. Ready? Hi, my name is Gavin. I'm from Los Angeles. What I go baba? Sometimes I feel I cannot handle this. I get confused from this place. I want to go outside to the beach right now, but I might get fined. Rock baba bull, got dead, but I'ma sit down and rhyme like yo. But I really like that flow, the flow state. I'm an avid studier of it, constant practitioner, a good listener right here, and I'm glistening like the sun just reflects off of the ocean. That's dope, man. You see right here, keep it like we need to have hope then, in order to expand, because we're all interconnected, not just one man, but all men and women, and in between, we the bean, yeah. And if I was gonna pass it to go, would you like to go, Miss Nicole?
I definitely think no, but I'm great in a minute. My name is Nicole. I've never rapped before. I also don't really know how to rhyme at all, because these things are just words, and when they come out of my mouth, I terrified.
Yeah. Good job, Nicole. I just want to say, I just really acknowledge you for doing that. I'll just lower this to maybe to the next beat. I want to acknowledge you for that, for just going out and giving it a try, for sure. And so one thing that I want to give to everybody here is that the best way for me about going about it is like, don't worry about trying to rhyme or anything. Just start talking to the music. And you just like, it's in the background and you're just having a conversation to music. And so I'll go out about it like this. Now I don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth, but I'm just gonna talk to the music. I'm not gonna worry about rhyming. And sometimes when I stop rhyming or stop worrying about it, it starts to rhyme. It's a cool thing. It's like those happy accidents of life. Some type of romantic relationships happen that way. You never expect it, but it just happens at an intersection and you get a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Like, dang, how did that happen? It's like, damn, if I don't force it, if I don't put effort, it starts to come to me. Interesting. This whole concept of resistance. But if I start pulling back, it's like it's pulled to me. I've been thinking more about The Alchemist, the book. Because I made a big decision today. I stopped the podcast that I've been doing for a year. And we've been doing it every week. He's my man in London. It's called 9 to 5 with Gavin and Mike. And it was dope, but something just didn't feel right. So I had to let him know this morning that I'm kind of done with this podcast because I have this Flow Masters podcast that I'd rather do. It's connected to my higher purpose. And it was such an uncomfortable conversation because we were doing it every single week for 52 weeks. But it's just those things. And I think that the world has a way of, when you're just going to step into that discomfort, but you're aligned to your highest values. I got a call by my friend who does a podcast, and he just was letting me know more about like how he's so down with Flow Masters, and he gave me so many tips about it, and he'd never called me before. But I was thinking about him 2 days prior, about wanting to call him to get more information because I wanted to make this pivot. And I think the world just has an interesting way of when your thoughts are aligned, then you start to get signs from the universe that you're in the right path, like The Alchemist, So one thing that I actually want to do here, I'm going to start to go into more ambiance. And basically when I was talking about signs right there, you're right, there's something powerful. One of my favorite books is this. I'll actually take this back so I can show my human more. Let me get that. Man's Search for Meaning, right? The Clinical Psychology. Yep. One of my favorite books. I've read this 3 times already, 2 times in the past year. And his whole thing, right? Logotherapy. He was a clinical psychologist that was in a Jewish clinical psychologist that was in Auschwitz and a few other internment camps during World War II. And logotherapy was is basically embedded in all the therapies and coaching modalities, and it is about how do you create meaning in even the most grimmest of situations. So this next exercise that I'm going to do is they said on average 1 out of 30 people survived out of this war, right? And he was one of the survivors, and there's luck that was involved, right? They could have done this and he would have got thrown into the gas chamber. So they had to take that into account. And even with that, there was a psychological fortitude that was required, or else that sense of malnourishment would have overcome the body. So that anybody that smoked a cigarette, they were done. Their body could not sustain it, and that was their way of throwing in the towel. They would sit in their shit, they would smoke, and then they'd die shortly after that. And he had, even when he got separated from his wife, the only thing that really kept him going were 2 things. One was imagining conversations with his wife and sipping coffee with his wife, and just imagining just loving moments. And the second one was imagining that one day he was going to share the logotherapy with the world and share to people the atrocities of this war and how it can never happen again. And even amidst the shit, you can create a meaning that allows you to move forward. So in this next piece, is called, it's inspired by Forrest Gump's Mama always said that life is like a box of chocolates. So basically, we're going to be taking something random and we're going to creating a metaphor for it on how it is like life. So I'll do an example first. So does somebody want to say, like, life is like why don't you give me something, and I'll lead by example.
Life is like a roller coaster.
Okay. You're giving me a kind of easy one, man. Okay. So what my mom said one time, that life is like a roller coaster. It's best that you buckle up, because it's going to be a bumpy ride. There's going to be a lot of ups, and there's going to be a lot of valleys. And you can do your best you can with your perspective, but sometimes it's just going to hit you, and you're going to have those you're going to whirl around, and you're going to feel like you're out of control. You're going to feel that pit in the stomach, especially when life goes really fast or you're hit with something that you didn't expect. And just learning to embrace that, have a little fun with it. You could even put your hands up a little bit during those big slopes, and finding ways to be, to fall with courage. Even when you don't know what's going to happen in COVID-19, there's going to be a new level of normalcy. Just remembering that life has its ebbs and flows, and we need that contrast almost in order to appreciate the other side. Otherwise, it's all same, and what's same is underappreciated. And so embracing the ups and downs is a way of really living. So life is like a roller coaster. It's about learning to, put your hands up and enjoy the ups and the downs of life. And so with that being said, I'm going to have a different beat on, and I'd like to pass this on to, how about, I wanted to see, Stephanie, are you there? I'd like to pass it on to somebody else that hasn't gone yet. How about Trent?
I'm here. And
okay.
I've only just tuned in.
Okay, great.
In the last few minutes.
Okay, you just tuned in. So did you hear about kind of where I was going? Actually, I'll just let you know, this is a metaphor game. And the whole purpose of this is learning how to create empowering meanings out of very humble and arbitrary things. And so you give yourself maybe 30 to 45 seconds to kind of elaborate on what I'm about to give to you, and you're gonna kind of explain how does this a metaphor for life. Okay, so Trent, are you willing to play?
Yeah, man.
Okay,
Let's do it.
great. So Trent, you know, Mama said to me one time that life is like an old book.
Okay, and so to elaborate on that, I'm using an old book as a metaphor for life.
Yes, correct.
So life is like an old book, in a sense that books come in many shapes, many sizes, in many different languages, many different belief systems. The original books have been written on papyruses that have survived thousands of years. And so the legacy that we leave to the world based on our thinking can also leave an imprint that lasts thousands of years. Even going back to the Sumerian ages 5,000 years ago, stone tablets. If we write something on a piece of paper now where we take away the value, or we don't put as much emphasis on durable thinking and durable material, then our legacies can sort of dissipate over a very short time frame. So old books are great in a sense that there's old wisdom that can be taken from the past and utilized in the present. And so not to neglect the teachings of those that came before us, but also that we can, in a sense, become an old book ourselves for people in the future. And so that wisdom can then go into that future where we will be that old book. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's my take on it.
Wow, that was beautiful. I love that. I love that how you did it as a way of kind of like, as a way of like passing it forward, that one day will be an old book. Oh, that was really moving, man. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Trent, I'd like you to pass it on to somebody else. Popcorn somebody else, and you give the metaphor.
Okay, so will someone put up their hand, or do you want me just to say a name? Or do you want to choose someone that hasn't done it yet?
Let's actually see. That was beautiful. Adila said that was beautiful. And let me know if I said that, yeah. So Adila just said for you, that's beautiful. Let me know if I said that wrong to you. And how about, yeah, the new song here. How about for, let's try, hey, give it to Gleb. How about Gleb? Okay.
Hey, Gleb.
Yeah.
So life is like a smoothie.
Life is like a smoothie. Well, life is like a smoothie in that I start every day with a smoothie. It's a blend of different flavors, different sensations, and every time I take in that smoothie, it nourishes my body, it sets me up for the day, and it gets me going to experience life to the fullest. Smoothies are, for me, a smoothie is a routine. It's one of my morning rituals. Every few days, I make a new smoothie. I try something different, and I get to start my day with either enrichment or play. Because yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
Enrichment or play.
Which can sometimes be the same thing.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I like that. Let's see if we can do it to someone else. How about Stephanie, would you like to go? And otherwise, how about this? How about Attila? Attila, how about let's get Gleb to give you a metaphor to work with.
All right.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
And I'll rewind this a little bit. Go ahead.
Life is like a new pet.
Like a new pet?
Yeah.
Life is like a new pet. It opens its eyes and sees the world for its first time. It sees you for the first time. And it sees the most beautiful thing it has ever seen. And it falls in love with you. Gives you the most unlimited amount of love. So much love that you cannot describe this love. Every day is a new day, a new journey. Every moment is a new day, is a new adventure. Going outside with you, spending the time with you is the best anyone can ask for. So this thing happening around the world right now is many people are scared, but I'm happy to spend more time with you, no matter if it's physical or digital. And so life is like a new pet. Through the eyes of a new pet, everything is beautiful. And because of that, I'm sorry, I miss my pet so much. That's all I have for now. Thank you. Oh.
This is Butters.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It makes me miss the pet that I never had.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you,
Thank you,
Attila. Attila, is it Attila?
Attila, yeah.
Yeah, Attila. Like, I like how you spoke to it as if like you were talking directly to your pet. You know, it was great to spend time with you, and it's like you were taking us into your experience, right? My favorite. I'm very passionate about public speaking. My favorite public speaking coach says, "You always want us to take us into your reliving room." You know, you always want to paint the picture as if we're right there, and that's what you did. And so, Nicole, would you like to go next?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I have to think of a good analogy.
Well, actually, Attila's going to give it to you.
Oh,
So,
right. All right.
Yeah. So, Attila, give her one. And Nicole, if you can actually speak as close to the camera as you can, because just to make sure that we can hear you.
No. I've got my phone plugged into the charger.
There you go. That's good. That's good right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Attila, go ahead.
All right, so life is like a boomerang.
Okay. Life is like a boomerang. Sometimes you just have to let go and not look back. You don't know which direction it's gonna go, but you just have to trust that it's all working the way it's supposed to. That the things that are meant for you come back around at the right time, and you just have to have faith. And it can be really scary sometimes to to not know if that boomerang is going to come around and hit you in the face or if you're going to go and hit someone else. But just have to throw it as hard as you can and know that it's all working in the right direction. It will for every single one of us.
Hello.
Boomerang word.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Are you
Gavin.
next? Are you
There
next?
go. I am. I sure think so.
Yeah, you are. Okay, I see it. Okay, so basically we are completing this. I want to thank all of you for partaking in this experience. And basically one of the messages that I just want to leave you with regards to the metaphor game is that even in the most humble of spaces, you know, the most unseemly of situations, in the wise words of Viktor Frankl, right, we can still be able to find a meaning amidst everything that's going on. And so with that, it was a pleasure. And
Thank you,
it
bro.
meant a lot
Thank
to
you,
hear
Gavin.
from all of you. So have a great
All right.
Gavin,
Thank you.
rest of your day.
Gavin, right?
Okay. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.